Okay, so thanks, Wendy. Uh, so now my turn to say a few words, and I want to start from a somewhat autobiographical place. I grew up, and through much of my life, I think, there's times of competing social forces. On the one hand, despair and violence and hate, and on the other hand, hope and optimism and love. So on the side of despair, there was the still ever-present dark shadow of the Holocaust. There were air raid drills and bomb shelters and fear of nuclear war about to happen. There was the war in Vietnam. There was racial brutality and forced segregation across racial and religious differences, educational inequality, hate and divisiveness, race riots in our cities, problems. And on the side of hope and optimism and love, at the very same time that those factors were in place, there was the inspiration of the civil rights movement, the empowering youth movement and student movements for social change and social justice. There were people crossing boundaries and building coalitions across different groups. There were people building intergroup relationships and interracial and interfaith communities. There were some educational leaders who were really beginning to listen to students and wanting to lift up their voice. There were opportunities to learn from great teachers. There were communities of people building peace studies programs and intergroup dialogue programs across the country. These were also times of great hope and optimism and confidence that change was coming and it was going to come quickly, we hoped. So what I'm describing, sort of both parts, I think, doesn't sound so different from today's world. In some respects, these are times of real despair and danger, but also just as much there's great good taking place. There's so much possibility and there's so much hope for the future. And the challenge facing MCSP today and in 1999 was in the face of despair and violence and hate in the broader society, how could we embrace and put all our positive and good together in an educational setting? And in a community that has lived 24/7, that actually lives and breathes and learns the values of dialogue and diversity and equity and compassion and peace and love. This has been the great challenge and also the great opportunity for MCSP that I think we've embraced wholeheartedly for the past 20 years. We know what works in education. It's about learning in a supportive, diverse community. It's about expanding our comfort zones among people of diverse social identities. It's being intentional and activist in pursuing peace and social justice. It's being dialogic in our interactions and in our intergroup relations. It's about finding hope in the midst of despair. It's about teachers learning together with their students and listening to them and supporting them and empowering them. It's about educators and administrators caring about and loving their students and respecting and honoring each individual's humanity and goodness. And it's about all of us being purposeful about our own lives and also thinking beyond our own individual needs to partner with communities beyond our own. The challenges in creating MCSP were the following. How could we focus on both community and learning together in institutional settings that oftentimes kept these worlds apart? How could we build an engaged, diverse community where there was 24/7 dialogic way of life, where there was a culture built on respect and love, where we supported everyone's success, where we valued the humanity of each individual student and staff and faculty, and where we engaged with community partners with respect and partnership. It takes hard work and intentionality to accomplish this. And every year as our nation and world becomes more divisive and hateful, I think our work becomes ever more critically important. But we know this is what most students are really looking for, and that we all thrive in environments like what we have created in MCSP. There's a lot of talk in higher education about diversity, but in MCSP we really mean it, and we take it to heart, and this is the core of our community and our work. It's not a one-time workshop or a check-off box. It's about each one of our lives and how we live and interact and engage with one another every day. It's about our community and about our country and about our global society. Universities also talk, at least sometimes, they talk about good teaching. But at MCSP, that's our very business. We seek out faculty to fill our classrooms who truly care about teaching and learning and about their students. And universities talk a lot about students. But at MCSP, we truly value and cherish and respect the humanity and worth of every single student who enters our program and community. And we work hard to honor each one's potential and humanity and the contributions they bring. And we work to help them flourish and thrive in their personal, social, and academic lives and support them to realize their dreams. We've been very fortunate here at the University of Michigan and in LSNA, where there's a long and deep tradition of decentralization and supporting islands of educational innovation like MCSP. That's not the case at a great many universities, and we really must honor and cherish that foundational principle at U of M. I can't thank each of you enough, everyone here tonight. Coming to work each day is really an inspiration. It's an honor to spend time with each of our students, our faculty and staff who are doing such good work in the world. In just the year or two that our students live and learn in our program, they experience a different reality from the broader world. It's a community of deep learning and inquiry, of hope, of love, of celebration and embracing our differences and our commonalities. And we believe, and we hear from so many of you, our alumni, that you are carrying these values into your post-college lives, making an important difference in the world of as professionals, adults, and active members of your community and the larger society. And I know all of you here today are making such an important difference in the world in very important ways. So in closing, to use our MCS puns, MCSPs to our MCSP family, I thank you all and I love you all so much.